evening and welcome to Current Issues. I'm your host, Hesham Tillawi. I guess we are on, right? Okay. I don't know what happened to the opening, but hey, here we are. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. And tonight, we're going to show you how you are driven by the media to do the things you do and think the way you do. Well, they are at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Fox Network is at it again. And of course, it's not just Fox Network, but the other networks. But Fox Network in particular, because Fox Network happens to be a political party all on its own. You know, leading to the war on Iraq, Fox Network had drawn this picture for you. And again, it's not just Fox Network, but Fox Network in particular. And tonight, we are going to pick on Fox Network because they were the biggest culprit in this thing. Well, at first, you know, you've seen all the talking heads on Fox Network, you know, Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and the others, bringing you guests after guests after guests, telling you how horrible Iraq was and how horrible Saddam Hussein was. And we have pictures to show you, you know, just to kind of remind you of who Fox Network is, just in case if you had forgotten. But Fox Network, you know, they were telling you all kind of things about Iraq, leading to the war on Iraq, bringing you all these so-called experts to tell you that we need to go and kill them on their streets before they come and kill us on our streets. And then during the war, they were cheerleading with all their talking heads who supposedly were politicians, and they were Americans. And you know, of course, you were convinced. Ann Coulter, that's their queen, their stupid queen actually, she has done a lot. Bill Kristol, Zionist, he was always on Fox Network, he still is, but at that time, you've seen him almost every day, because he was telling you how horrible. And who is this, Chuck Norris? Of course. I guess Chuck Norris, he looks like him. A bad-looking Chuck Norris. Of course, you know, they employed him too, and, you know, you remember Chuck Norris. So, you know, you really, and Bill O'Reilly, of course, they promoted this guy so much, and you believed them. Just like they are trying to tell you now that we should go and destroy the heck out of Iran because Iran is bad, and Iran is building nuclear weapons, and we need to go and take care of them. And some of them even cried for you on TV. You know, you remember Glenn Beck, how many times he cried and telling you about America. And, you know, Americans are patriotic. And we do have some pictures of Glenn Beck crying. We're going to show you also some of his crying on TV that kind of convinced you that you really need to do something about it. You know, America, America. And they kept, you know, look at all these tears, poor thing. And, you know, how many times he cried, I don't know, many times. You know, the people in the United States they're patriotic, they are conservative, they are religious, and they played on all of these. They played on your conservativeness, because remember, it was George Bush, it was the Republicans. They played on your patriotic duties. You know, after 9/11 or 9/12, we were a different nation. We were a nation where colors don't run. We were a nation standing up for America. America, the land of the brave. No one can come and destroy our buildings and kill our people and get away with it. And while they were doing that, you know, you got on this. Everybody was flying the flags, and Glenn Beck was on CNN at that time. He was telling you how horrible these Muslims were. Images of bin Laden, images of Al-Qaeda, images of masked men cutting heads on live TV, and the crying, and the crying. You really, the human mind, it amazes me, because you cannot really fool an animal. It's going to take you a long time to train animals to do things, but it doesn't take long for the human brain to actually believe in things. And you really don't know where reality stops and fiction and Hollywood starts, because you could not differentiate between Chuck Norris, the guy who was beating up all the Arabs. Remember those? You really did not know why Chuck Norris was, his movies in the 70s, late 70s. It was mainly in, it wasn't like, they didn't tell you what country it was, but you really did not have any problem with Muslims at that time. But those images of Chuck Norris, shooting up all these people with wrapped turbans or kuffiyas or dressed up like Muslims, and the scenes were more of a Muslim country. And then you had Rambo. They did very much the same thing. So these images were in your head. And when Fox Network started bringing you these people, telling you the Muslims this, Iraqis that, Saddam Hussein this, we must go and destroy them on their streets before they come and kill us on our streets. And images, images, images. Glenn Beck crying. And more images. And you decided, whoa, yes, let's go. And you did it. Now, all that war was for Israel. It was not to benefit the United States at all. It was for Israel. Why? Because the people in the media who drew these images for you were, number one, Zionists. A lot of them were Israelis. The Israelis were at the Pentagon drawing the plans. Richard Pearl, who's an Israeli, Douglas Feith, who's an Israeli, they were running the show because it was for Israel. And then they settled down. After they destroyed Iraq, they started this chain, this dominoes effect, to destroy the other countries, the other Arab countries, like Sudan, for instance, like Algeria, like Egypt, like Saudi Arabia, like Syria and Lebanon. The plan is on a roll. But they couldn't do it themselves. They had to bring the United States into it. And they did. Why? I'll tell you why. We're going to show you Glenn Beck talking to you and crying. And then we will come back and show you all that fake crying, but you believed it because you are an emotional creature. Let's play Glenn Beck crying.
Country. And I think you do too. But sometimes, for political reasons or whatever reasons, people just won't follow a story. I have to tell you.
No, keep going, keep going.
Heroes. Interests and the media that surround. And there isn't anybody there. There's just a few people that are just pressing the buttons and their voices are actually really weak. I'm sorry. It seems I just love my country. Tried to figure out how much is a life worth and put a price on how much. I want to show you a poster that I saw this morning getting ready for the show, and I want you to know that I have a daughter that was born with cerebral palsy, and they said that when she was born that she would never walk or talk or feed herself. She went to college. They were wrong. This poster bothers me so much because the hand of the person shown in this poster reminds me of my daughter's hand. This is from Nazi Germany. When will America take off the rose-colored glasses and start seeing the world around them? Start seeing things for what they really are. Look. I'd really like to share with you a personal story from today, but I can't because it puts my family in danger. Do you think I want to get on the air every night and tell you this stuff? Do you know who I am? The media they'll say, "Oh, he's just a clown." But you know what? I am a clown.
Eric.
I think if you need more tears, you're going to need.
Yeah, I don't know team. Okay. Flash. It's like a team. So that his eyes feel.
You just go wait for these beats right there. So once it gets rolling, I think it is getting used to it. My eyes are getting
Keep going.
used to it.
That's when we bring up the pepper spray.
You can just look at me. That's good.
Instant sadness.
And I try to keep your eyes open. I know it's probably like impossible.
You haven't got a runny nose.
No, it's running down my eyes.
Well, you know, that's how Glenn Beck cries. Now, of course, I don't know which camera I'm on, but I guess I'm on this camera. So, you know, he cried on his show so many times, and tears will be coming down his eyes. Is it fiction? Is it reality? My eyes are burning because I wanted to show you how I can cry, and I'm probably going to be crying for the rest of the show. I'll tell you what, I should have tried this off camera anyway, but it does. You can try this at home. Very easy. You know, if you want to show somebody that you really can cry easily, or you've been crying, just put a little bit of this Vicks stuff, and you will see how easy you will cry. America. We must stand for America. The country we love. It's being destroyed. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, I guess I can only do it because I don't know how to act. You know, these people get on TV and they act. I can't act. This is reality, not Fox fiction, because that's all you see with Fox fiction. Now, what did Fox do? Fox was the one who was the number one that you believed in to take you to war against Iraq. What are they doing now? Now, you do remember Ron Paul, and I talked a lot about Ron Paul and his movement. I've talked a lot about Ron Paul and his movement. Ron Paul started a movement. Now that movement is called the Tea Party movement. The Tea Party movement that Fox Network had stole from underneath Ron Paul. Last year, if you remember, on April 15th, tax day, they sent out all their biggest and top hosts and anchormen and presenters to run rallies for the Tea Parties. They spent millions of dollars doing that. They spend millions of dollars promoting these Tea Parties on their radio network, on their television network. And you know they are in every house. Fox Network, virtually in every house. They have the money to promote themselves to the max. Billions of dollars of Zionist money to come to your homes and convince you to do something. Well, what did they convince you to do this time? Besides going to war against Iraq, a country that did not do us any harm, a country that we have killed about 1.5 million and 4 million refugees for nothing. Nothing, absolutely. Yeah, it was for something. It cost us a lot to do it. Let's go ahead and play these speeches by like Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck at last year's Tea Parties. Let's go ahead and do it.
How to act. We're naturally those people. All we have to do is just not care anymore. Not care. When, you know, they have been making fun of me crying on Stephen Colbert like nobody's business. And you know what? Part of me, I look at that and I'm like, come on, guys. But you know what? In the end, it doesn't matter.
That's right,
It really doesn't matter. You know, we all have to be prepared to lose everything. You know, okay, we lose our job. Oh well. Okay, we lose our house. Oh well. Okay, it's gonna be tough. Oh well. We know how the story ends. We know what is real. We knew what was real as Americans on 9/12. Our families were real. Our country was vulnerable, but it was real. We just need to reconnect and realize that no matter what we lose, it's gonna be okay. And here we are at a time when it's going to take an awful lot of bravery. It's going to take a lot of bravery just to stand courageous, to stand while people throw stones at you and not to pick up a stone and throw it back. Be the better person. Don't let this day pass by. Connect with other people. Bring this spirit elsewhere. Make sure it spreads. Make sure people know that you are proud of the Republic, not just of the Republic of Texas, but the Republic of the United States of America. I just want to leave you with this. I told you before, and I make you this promise. I make you this promise. If we are the people that we were born to be, if we are the people, every single one of us are here for a reason. We live for a reason. You might feel inconsequential. You may feel that I don't have a purpose. People may belittle you, people make fun of you, but every single one of us has a purpose, and it is a purpose for good. If you just live to your best self, mighty miracles will come our way. God bless you.
Okay, stop it there. Stop it right there. we'll continue with this. So, did you hear what he was saying? Who do you think paid for these rallies last year? Who do you think paid for these rallies? It was Fox Network. And, you know, he talked about being an American, being good, we the good guys. We the good guys. And they were able to get all these hundreds and thousands of people into these rallies. They were able to get all these people. Now there is a big movement that they're going to throw away, by the way, once they get in Washington. That's the game. Talking about the country? What country? Where were you, Mr. Glenn Beck, when George Bush was destroying the country? That wasn't America? That wasn't the Republic? The Republic, just like Ron Paul was calling it. How come you did not call it the Republic? How come you did not give a damn about the Constitution when George Bush said it is only a blank piece of paper? When he went and attacked Iraq and you were cheering him on. How come you didn't do that, Glenn Beck? How come now all of a sudden America means something, and because you can't talk the language of what people want to hear? How naive people are. When they hear somebody just saying, we're good, right away, we're good? What good is it when we kill people all over the world? What good is it when we destroy countries, sovereign countries? How good is that? Oh, we rid the world of a terrorist. No, we have not, because he's still in Texas, and that is George Bush. Okay? We're the terrorists. And the whole world knows it. Let's go to the phones with Freedom. Freedom, welcome to the program.
Hey, Dr. Tillawi, I want to thank you for what you're saying now, but Fox News, with Roger Ailes and Rupert Murdoch, as you know, who owns all of Fox, and the Wall Street Journal also. If you notice, Fox always quoting from the Wall Street Journal, which is another paper that
it's all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah, it is owned by News Corp. So the whole thing is this. If you saw the governor of Florida, Charlie Crist, okay? Charlie Crist is now an independent. It looks like all the commentators on Fox News, they are trying to control the conservative agenda, because if you notice, they get on the air, Oliver North get on the air, Sean Hannity get on the talk radio and on the air, and they promote certain candidates, you know what I mean? And is this, in your opinion, the role of the media, or is this...
It's not. Of course it's not.
Or is this reminiscent to you of the Russians when they owned the newspaper and everything else, and they promoted all the candidates they wanted to? CBS doesn't do that, MSNBC doesn't do that, so why is Fox getting away with this? Please explain that to me, and thanks.
Thank you. Well, let me tell you something. I know about all this. I know about government-controlled media. I know about establishment-controlled media, because I come from a country that the media we were seeing is mainly government-controlled. That's the media. Now it is not government-controlled, because the White House does not control Fox, but the establishment does. The people who make the rules, the people with money, they do. That's why. That's why. Now, Fox Network, they come to you into your homes as they are the media. The media is not supposed to belong to any party. It's supposed to be independent, but they're not. They are not independent. Now, we're going to continue with these tapes, and there is an interview that happened, that took place not long ago, with Rupert Murdoch, where he answered some questions about his Fox Network. Let's continue the clips.
Cold dark evening on December 16, 1773, a handful of colonists began what would be the opening chapter in the greatest burst of freedom the world has ever known. They tossed 342 cases of British tea
Boston mob, declaring to the world taxation without representation is tyranny. To their British oppressors, they were traitorous rabble who inspired puppets. They were freedom's new patriots and heroes. They lit a fire that gave birth to a new power in the affairs of citizens and their government. The power of we the people. The United States of America was born by common people risking all they had to defy an arrogant regime, taxing them into submission. And now that arrogance has returned, threatening the very foundation of our republic. My name is Thomas Paine. In 1776 I wrote, "The sun never shined on a cause of greater worth." Now, my fellow Americans,
is this reality or fiction? But your brains thought it was reality.
Citizen Sean
This was last
and the
year.
rest of an aroused nation will hear
Fox
from you
News.
as we the people once again declare our independence.
We the people. We the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking live at the state capitol here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am my fellow 15,000 Americans on the end of the United States who have gathered here on this tax day to make their voices heard. All across the country, Americans like you have taken it by the thousands. We have complete coverage from all around the country. Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, got a Tea Party in New York. Mike Huckabee, Neil Board for a Fat Hat rally in Columbia, South Carolina. Radio host Rick and Bubba will be joining us live from Birmingham, Alabama, their Tea Party. And we're going to take you live to all these locations. Plus, Joe the Plumber's going to be here in Atlanta with a special performance by the one and only John Rich. And you don't want to miss that. We start in New York tonight, where, by the way, Georgia's own
Were they covering
a
the
warm
event, or
welcome
they
former
were
Speaker of the
actually
House, Newt Gingrich, is with us.
making the event? Do you think this was an independent movement?
Mr. Speaker, here we are in your backyard in Georgia. We're probably,
And you
by the
said
end of
this
the night,
was
going to have
a covenant
20,000 people here. They're still coming in. What do you make of this? How do you interpret this has gone on all day around the country? Well, first of all, I want to say to you and Dave
Yeah,
Ryan,
black guy and then black guy.
and everybody else who's there, what a great representation for Atlanta and for Georgia. Can't believe New York with this kind of turnout.
Wasn't this guy that lied to us? By the contract of America?
All over the country.
You believed him?
Huge turnout. I think this is a major turning point as Americans stand up and say to their politicians, enough. No more big spending, no more big deficit, no more taxes.
You should have said that to George Bush when he was spending billions of dollars to kill innocent Iraqis.
I gotta tell you something. I just went down the line, and if you can look at this, there's a little girl right down the line here, and it says, "Keep your hands out of my piggy bank."
Oh, yeah. You see, things like that. And you believe them. Yeah, look at that.
I did. Yeah,
She
you like that.
knew
I'll
them. You
give
believe
you
them.
this copy. I have to
You
like
believe
it.
what these liars
But what's
were
amazing
doing.
about this, and by the way, I assume President Barack Obama's in the White House tonight, looking at all of these arrogant Americans. But I gotta tell you, John McCain used the phrase generational theft, Mr. Speaker. And if we go through these numbers,
country theft,
and we're going to
the
spend
ad.
and create $10 trillion in debt, and 10 years from now, $806 billion on interest on that debt, this is unsustainable. And America has a message tonight for the White House, 15 to 20,000 strong here in
Was it
Atlanta.
America?
Leave our
was
children and
Fox
grandchildren's
News.
money alone.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They tell you, they didn't tell you they're the ones who planned it. They didn't tell you they're the ones who promoted it on their radio network and on their television network. And they got you. The America. The Republic. We must stand up for America. Yeah. You saw Glenn-Beck doing that, crying for America. It's my country and yours. We've got to. We have to. We have to stand up as Americans and sing, oh, say. I can't even, probably. I'm not. I don't want to be. I don't want to do. What is it? Goldie when she tried to sing the national anthem. But that's how they get you. Red, white, and blue, telling you things like America, bringing you that guy and telling you he wrote that in 1776. Well, how in the hell did you get up here? What is reality and what is fiction? What is reality and what is fiction? The whole thing was fiction from Fox News, but you saw it as reality, and you started coming out of your homes by the scores to join the Tea Party. And from the beginning I said, if you want to drink tea, go visit your grandmother or maybe your mother. They make much better tea than Glenn Beck will ever do. Continue.
Rich. Of course, as the media are reporting today, you simply can't trust the Tea Party. Oh wait, that's not the media, that's Fox News saying that. After more than a year of promoting the Tea Parties, the Palin Network no longer trusts them. It began when Sean Hannity agreed to appear at a Cincinnati Tea Party event, urging viewers to buy tickets for $20 to $100 each. The more you spent, the closer you got to sit next to Sean. Proceeds to benefit the Tea Party, news organization raising money for political party. Journalism watchdogs called foul on this, and at last night's event, no Hannity. The Cincinnati Tea Party writes on its website, quote, Fox News producers on site informed the Cincinnati Tea Party senior leadership that Mr. Hannity had to rush home for a personal emergency. The Cincinnati Tea Party expressed a statement of support and concern to Hannity and family. We believed them, said the party founder. But there was Hannity on TV last night in New York. Seems okay. The Los Angeles Times reporting that furious Fox News executives canceled his appearance at the event. Quote, Fox News never agreed to allow the Cincinnati Tea Party organizers to use Sean Hannity's television program to profit from. Your move, Tea Party. Quote, despite knowing clearly that this was not true, Fox caved. Help us, Chris Wallace. Who can we trust?
I don't know that Sean's in trouble, but I think that there's people are looking at Fox at, how do we avoid being taken advantage of?
Maybe the real problem is that a very senior Fox executive was asked about the Tea Party just 10 days ago and had this to say.
Your business network host, David Assman, told viewers they needed to visit the Tea Party website to buy merchandise, and your network had graphics saying Fox Day Tea Parties. Is it appropriate for a news network to engage in that much politics?
No, I don't think we should be supporting the Tea Party or any other party. But I'd like to investigate what you're saying before I condemn anyone.
Investigation underway, sleuth. Let's bring in Eric Burns, president of MediaMatters.org. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, Keith.
Are you happy now? I mean, I can't believe you split up the Fox and the Tea Party romance.
Well, Keith, I have no doubt that they're going to be back together tomorrow morning. I mean, look, this is a long and deep relationship that's very serious. Fox has invested an enormous amount of time and money in the Tea Party movement. Essentially, they did all but create the Tea Party movement to begin with. They've run over 100 promotional spots on Fox News touting Tea Party events. They've lent their talent out over the last year to host Tea Party rallies. They've even sponsored Tea Party rallies. So this is a very, very deep relationship, and I'm sure they're going to get past this one.
Rupert Murdoch, he's going to investigate before he says anything. And he said that we should not be promoting and supporting any parties. Really? You made it. It began as a good movement, as a solid patriotic movement, as a movement for the Republic by Ron Paul. But because Ron Paul is anti-Federal Reserve Bank, he's anti-AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. He is anti-killing innocents in Palestine and in Iraq. He is for the Republic. He is for the Constitution. You had to steal that movement because that movement was so dangerous on Israel. That movement was an eye-opener for Americans, true patriotic Americans. All of these people are in the Tea Party. All of them are patriotic. All of them are good people. All of them want this country to be a good country. And all of them are good people. Unfortunately, it was stolen away from Ron Paul and by these people, by these Zionists. Rupert Murdoch, the #1 Zionist in America, and all his entourage, from Sean Hannity to Bill O'Reilly to everyone you see on the networks, to all these talking heads they bring. This is the party. He's going to investigate. He didn't know that Fox Network was promoting the Tea Party? How come? When he has all his best presenters, like Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck, and all these people going all over the country last year promoting these Tea Parties. He didn't know? He wasn't watching his own network? He doesn't watch his own network every night to see where that they are promoting the Tea Parties? He didn't see his checkbook, millions of dollars going to these Tea Parties to organize? He didn't know that. He didn't know that. He's going to investigate. That's what you have, America. That's what you have. You have a television network that made it to the top, and you trusted it. Just like the Arabs trusted Al Jazeera with its agenda. They did the same thing. And they started the balanced, what is it? Well, I forgot the network, what is it? The Fair and Balanced. Sure. Was that fair and balanced? Actually supporting a movement and creating a movement for one reason and one reason only. Now let me tell you, don't think the Tea Parties are going anywhere. They're just going to be a vehicle to get the Republicans into the House and the Senate comes November. And they might keep them around so they become also the vehicle to get the White House in 2012. Because the Republicans and the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, the people who control them, the powers that be, will not have a populist movement around. A populist movement is hard to control. Maybe you can explain to me why Michael Steele, the chairman of the Republican Party, why he summoned about a month ago, he summoned 50 of the top Tea Party leaders from around the country to go and meet with him in Washington. Well, if the Tea Party, see these Tea Parties, they have people who are independent. The message is right because it's the message of Ron Paul. It is the Constitution, it's the country, it's the Republic. It's our future. It's our children's future. It's the money that these people are spending. It's the lives that we are destroying around the world. That's what the movement is all about. But they stole that, and now they are the leaders. They control it. The powers that be will not allow a populist party. The Tea Party is more of a populist party. But they're going to do this until they reach, in November, until they reach the House of Representatives and the Senate, to do what they want to do. And what they want to do is to start another war in the Middle East. They want to start another war for Israel. A war with Iran. You know, this war on Iraq and the killing of all these people have destroyed so many lives. So many lives. And it made so many people miserable. And it made millions of people who will live miserable for the end of their lives, or till the end of their lives. Now we are thinking about doing the same thing. You know, it started back in 2002 when the House of Representatives signed the Iraq Act. And that was the first act of war that the United States had perpetrated on a sovereign country that did not do us any harm. But you had these same talking heads to tell you how bad this man was. Now they're doing the same thing because Barack Obama is refusing to go to war against Iran. Last week, you had 379 congressmen who signed a letter, signed an act similar to the Iraqi Act that actually was the first thing to give President Bush the backing to go and attack Iraq. Now they passed one for Iran. It's the divestments, the Iran Divestments Act. Now, that's the first step in war. These people don't care. These people don't care. We don't have representatives. We have people who are paid, who are bought and paid for by AIPAC, by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. That's who owns the system. That's who owns the system. These are the people that are pushing for war with Iran. You have the Republicans doing the same thing. You have the Democrats not sure what the heck they want to do because they don't want to be the ones to start another war. And you know what? If the Democrats don't start another war, the powers that be, they're going to remove them and get somebody who's going to start the war. Just like they did with George Bush. Now it is time to do it again. Now they calm things down. And now they have the Tea Parties that they control. They have the Tea Parties that they control to do exactly the same job, exactly the same thing they did back in 2002, they are doing now. For what? They're scaring you with something. They're scaring you with something that Iran's going to get the bomb. Iran is not going to get the bomb for probably another 5 or 10 years. And so what if Iran gets the bomb? So what? What's going to happen? We have like 15,000 nuclear bombs. The Russian has probably the same. The Chinese have them. The French have them. The British have them. All these countries have. India, Pakistan. So what if they get one? What are they going to do with it? Destroy Israel? Well, they can't do that. They cannot do that even if we consider, now remember, Israel has like 400 nuclear bombs. Israel has nuclear bombs since the 60s. Israel has technology, nuclear technology, since the 50s. Iran cannot destroy Israel with a bomb. You know why? Even if they want to. Because they're going to end up destroying the same people they are saying they want to protect, which is the Palestinians. Okay? You know, the Israelis and the Palestine is like the size of Maine. So if you throw a nuclear bomb at Israel, you're going to kill all the Palestinians. So the nuclear option is not an option for Iran. It's not an option. And let me tell you, Iran never fired one bullet for Palestine. This is all a show. Everyone who wants to do something, they will say, we are doing it for the Palestinians. So a nuclear Iran is not going to be a problem. Let it be. What are they going to do? Use it? They will be wiped out the face of the earth, not just the face of the map. Let's go to, I guess, line 1 with, do we still have Ramsey on or what? Okay, I don't see him on. Okay, let's check because I see it here, but I don't know if he's on or not. So, let's not be fooled with this Iran thing because, you know, the drums of war is you see it on Fox Network. You see it on Fox Network all the time. That is what is happening. But, hey, you know, when you see someone with carrying and waving the American flag, you run behind him regardless of if he is good for us or not. All right, let's go to line 1 with Ramsey from Canada. Ramsey.
Hi,
welcome to the program.
I want to make a comment. So I'm really glad that you showed the clip with Glenn Beck, especially when he talked about the picture of the girl. Anyway, he mentioned the word Holocaust.
Oh, of course, Nazis. Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing. That was the whole thing, to show that whole thing and cry, just to mention the Nazis, that's all.
And to mention, and to play the Holocaust card.
Of course, to play the Holocaust card.
And you know, the people know about the Holocaust and the American Revolution and the Civil War combined. And so, and that's obviously a Jewish Israeli agenda.
Of course.
By the Jewish lobby and so on.
Of course.
So another thing you have to mention on your program, like you mentioned it many times, but it's worth mentioning, that Israel never signed the non-nuclear.
That is true. The non-proliferation treaty, that is true. The nuclear non-proliferation treaty, Israel has not signed it. And as a matter of fact, John Kennedy, JFK, tried to actually get them to sign it, and they refused. Actually, he probably lost his life. Part of the reason why he lost his life is because he was after their nuclear program too.
Yeah, and so Iran signed it, and so did Iraq. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, but you see, okay, Ramsey, you understand all that. The average American does not even know what the heck is nuclear non-proliferation treaty. They don't even know what you're talking about. You understand that. You understand that Israel has not signed that, which is not to spread the nuclear technology, weapons technology around. They did. They've been having them. They lied about them. Iran did sign that, and as a matter of fact, the United Nations Nuclear Agency, they said that Iran does not have a nuclear weapons program. They said that. But it doesn't matter, because you know what? The United Nations inspectors did say that Iraq was not working on weapons of mass destruction. Did that help Iraq? No, it did not. Did that save Iraq? No, it did not. Hans Blix, he came right here to Washington, and he told the senators and the congressmen that Iraq does not have a program for weapons of mass destruction. Did they believe him? No.
And sir, also another important point, before the war in Iraq, the media constantly said that Saddam Hussein is like Hitler, and now they're saying I'm a dinner joint. It's like Hitler.
Of course. I'm glad you called in, Ramsey, because all these are ideas that are actually, I was going to talk about it, but you're bringing them out. Yeah, of course, there were many people, they made Saddam Hussein sound like this horrible creature. Someone who's going to kill all people or gas them. Many pictures, images of Hitler and Saddam Hussein with the same mustache. Now they have the same thing, the same images, and they're portraying Ahmadinejad as another Hitler. They are. Even though we have seen what these people can do in Gaza. We have seen them. It is the same media. And as a matter of fact, we had another clip to show, but we'll show that next week, which is, it has nothing to do with Fox Network. It has a lot to do with how you are being programmed to look at the Palestinian issue. You had Israel go up there and kill, murder, slaughter, annihilate. They committed a genocide against the Palestinians. The Americans did not know it. Even though images of killed Palestinians did make it to some networks in the United States, but it was very brief, and every time they showed you a dead Palestinian, even if it was a child, with his body splattered all over the screens, it was because Israel was retaliating for some rocket launched against it. It was always in defense. A whole war was conducted. A whole people were almost wiped out. They're still living in tents even over a year after the fact. They still have not rebuilt. And it will be a long time before they rebuild. But it's still, people think that Israel did that. Unarmed Palestinians. They don't have the F-16. They don't have the F-18s. They don't have the tanks. They don't have the stealth bombers. They don't have the phosphorus, the white phosphorus. They don't have the weapons that Israel employed against unarmed Palestinians. But yet, most people in the United States, because of Fox Network, because of the media in the United States that is Zionist-driven, because of that, Israel was defending itself. Defending itself from who? From who? Defending yourself from who? You're the one confiscating. Israel is the one confiscating Palestinian homes. Israel the one confiscating Palestinian lands. Israel the ones killing Palestinians. But if you don't see it, if the media is driving you one way and you are being driven by them, just like what they're doing now, you have no idea as an American citizen if you are what you're watching on TV, if it's reality or fiction. Thank you, Ramsey. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, thanks.
Now they're bringing you reality shows just to kind of screw your brains even worse. They bring you reality shows now. And it's kind of stories done somehow fiction. No, it's reality. They got you so warped, it's unbelievable. You're spinning. You don't even know where your tail starts or ends. You're running around trying to catch your tail and you cannot. You're going down a spiral and you have no idea where it's leading you. They're whipping you in a blender. And that's exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. You want reality? Get off your butts and go find reality, because reality is not on Fox Network. Reality on shows like this, which they are not reaching many homes in the United States. They're not reaching many homes and many airwaves out there. Because I guarantee you, if you would know the truth, you will be up in arms. You will be up in arms. You want to be patriotic? You want to be patriotic and serve this country? Know the truth. Know the truth, because they're lying to you. They are lying to you. They're showing you fiction, telling you it's reality, and you are behind them. Know the truth. You must understand. All media has an agenda, except this show and shows like it, where the only agenda is, the only string that is attached, it's the string between me and you. Do the right thing, America. Do the right thing. Because America has a lot of people who will stand up and fight for it to get back on the right track. And we will. Because we love this country just as much as anybody else. And we will continue fighting for it. We're going to say good night, and we will see you
next Thursday.
There you go. A clown.